Welcome again to the Rick Helps Real Estate Show. We try to make sense of this crazy real estate market here in Arizona. And speaking of crazy real estate market, I'm going to share something with you this morning that I got. And we get a lot of these as real estate agents. And I am in a Facebook group called, let's see, what's it called here? Realtors with a Sense of Humor. So I had to post this one this morning. I said, sounds legit. I get an email this morning and a guy says, hi. Because the rent of my current house is due recently, my wife and I have decided to buy a house. That's why I saw you on this house website. That's very specific. I would like to buy one in a quiet and harmonious city for around $1 million to $1.5 million. Because my wife is having a baby, I'm not free recently, so please add my wife's Instagram. My wife is Japanese and she'll tell you what she thinks. She will provide you all the information. Yeah, I'm doing that. I actually responded and said, I don't work on anything under 1.5 million. Good luck. And lo and behold, the email was not legit. So I thought that was pretty doggone funny. Anyway, welcome. Wow, what's going on in real estate? We're going to talk about a shift in the rental market right now that we're seeing, and particularly in Gilbert. And we kind of knew that was coming. They were overbuilding out there, right? Or maybe they're just meeting demand and not overbuilding, and prices are starting to adjust. If we look at where we're at with our 7-day moving average, you can see that our sales are going down. Now, keep in mind, this includes Easter weekend, so it's going to be down a little farther than it would be normally. But the number of homes under contract is the same as what it was last Memorial Day weekend, which are, historically low. See where the arrow is there? So we're sitting at about 3,500, and they were 3,500 back here. So as we watch and see if sales are declining, one of the numbers we want to see is how close are we going to get to this all-time low of 2,700 contracts. Listings, unfortunately, while they're coming up, they're still only sitting at about 5,100 units. That's not a lot. That's about 300 more than what we saw, a few weeks ago. But there's an interesting number that's hanging out there right now, and that is that we have 1,200 coming soon listings. What does that mean? Well, we've been hanging at around 800 coming soon, and all of a sudden there's 400 more. Now, that's kind of a new posting. Using the coming soon listing is very popular with the 72 Sold group. They put it on, let it ride for about a week, and then you can go see the house on Saturday. Is it them? I have no way of going in and seeing if it's just that one brokerage that has made the coming soon listing explode like it is. But those are listings that are going to come on. So if we've got 1,200 out there and we're at 5,100 today, what does that mean? Is that a trend? Now, once the market starts to balance out, that coming soon stuff will go away. And the reason it's done, there's two reasons. One, sometimes the home's just not ready to put on the market yet. People are kind of cleaning it up. They're moving furniture. They're putting things in the garage. Maybe they're doing a little painting. And so you put it up, it's coming soon. You put one or two pictures up and say, hey, this is going to be ready in a couple of weeks. So, put this on your radar. The other one I don't really like is just to try and build hype. You put coming soon, you put a whole bunch of pictures up and go, you can't see it till Saturday. That's just hype. But people are trying all kinds of different things. Peyton says, why are they selling them all at once? The coming soon? Well, no, it's a variety. I went and looked at it. There's a lot of mobile homes in there too when you look at the coming soon. So I don't know. It's just something to check out and take a look at. So what's going on with the rental market right here? Take a look at this. And it's hard to read. I know that 63% of you watch this on your phone. Today we have over 1,000 coming soon listings. That's what I was just talking about. But over the past 4 weeks, we've seen a 34% increase in the number of new listings added to the MLS compared with the same 4 weeks in 2021. There's also been a 20% increase in the number of rental homes available in Phoenix on the Progress Residential website over the past 4 weeks. Now, if you haven't seen this website, let me pull this over here for you and see what that looks like. It's called Progress Residential. I haven't heard of it. It looks like, if you're looking for a rental, this looks like a pretty decent site to take a peek at. So take a look at that. It's called rentprogress.com. Renters of single-family detached homes are seeing far more choice than they did last year, and we're starting to see homes advertised with the first month's rent is free. Remember I said that's the first sign. If you're starting to see too many rentals out there, they're going to be giving away the first month. Here we go. Rental supply is particularly strong in Gilbert. This appears to be a significant turnaround in the rental market. It does not seem to have been recognized by the media outlets, who are mostly still referring to rising rents. And he says that is so 2021. That's a great comment. So it's happening. Now, what kind of impact will this have? Well, it's going to be a while before the investors, the Wall Street investors, say, "Ooh, it's looking a little saturated. We may have to back off." But that may happen. So if you're looking at purchasing a whole block of single-family homes for rent, you've got to be very confident in that vacancy rate. Now, the vacancy rate's still running about 4%, which is good, so I don't expect that to slow down anytime soon. But we do have a subscriber that made a comment to me and sent me an email last week saying he's got 3 rentals in Gilbert, and he was not able to raise his rent, and people had left. Carlos says, let me know if anyone's renting their next-gen suite or casita in the East Valley. Peyton says, my rent went up to $300 to renew my lease. That's still happening. But some people are not getting that. If you're a single-family home, there's starting to be excess inventory there. You might not see that level of rent increases. And keep in mind that a lot of the single-family rentals are owned by mom and pops too, and they're not really into the data as much as you guys are. So they may not be seeing this. So they're going to go ahead and say, well, shoot, let's go up $300 a month. I hear everybody else is getting that. And that takes a while to shake out. They go up 300, their tenant says, I'm out. And then they go, oh, it's okay. I can get another in here for, somebody else in here for 300 more. Lo and behold, they can't. So this takes time. Our active listings, I'm looking at it daily here. It's much easier if I move my mug, but you can see they're going up. It says here 5,085, and that's about where we're at today, about 5,100. This is 2021. We were at 7,400, so still got a long hill to climb. Mortgage rates, that keeps getting interesting. And what I wanted to talk about here was their summary. And it says, we're left in a situation where financial markets continue positioning for higher rates until traders see a sign of a shift. What kind of signs are they waiting for? The most important would be a confirmed reversal in the inflation numbers. Right now, the inflation that we have right now is baked in the cake on these interest rates. And we're at 5.35 today, as you can see off to the right-hand side here. That's a national average. Check with your lender. It could be lower, could be higher. That could take months. Even before then, markets could probably find enough solace for rates to level off if the average Fed speech announcement merely stops alluding to policy tightening. Basically, he's saying, hey, Federal Reserve, just shut up for a while. We get it. You're going to tighten. You don't have to remind us every 2 weeks. And, be quiet because you're hurting the mortgage rates. And I've got a company here called Better.com, and I'm going to talk about in just a couple of minutes. So what is going on in the broader picture right now in Arizona? And here's we get these twice a month. Median sales price is up 27%. So for buyers, supply is still the top concern. And talking about new construction, so pay attention to this one. Top areas for single-family home sales are West Valley with 44% market share and Pinal County with 27% market share. So the Southeast Valley comes in third with 70%. If you're looking in the West Valley, your best bets are Levine, just east of the new 202 freeway, and cities just west of the 303, such as Peoria, Surprise, Waddell, Goodyear, and Buckeye. A lot of building going on out there. Nice homes. In the Southeast Valley, some subdivisions concentrated in East Mesa, Queen Creek, South Gilbert, and South Chandler. Casa Grande and Maricopa have the most new home sales. But here's the kicker. New home developers continue to struggle with labor shortages and supply chain issues, and it still takes 14 to 16 months to complete the home. For this reason, some builders are including escalation clauses in their contracts that allow them to raise the price prior to the close of escrow to accommodate the higher costs to build and closer reflect the current market value. Yikes. You go out, you find something you like for $550 today, and they've got escalation clauses built in there. This might be $600 by the time we close. Might be. Here's what I don't like. In addition to the escalation clauses, a handful of builders are including restrictions on when a homeowner can sell or rent the home after it closes. It's important to read builder contracts closely to ensure you understand every section before moving forward. So what's happening is they don't want you to show up at the closing table and have another buyer sitting right next door and you're just flipping the home. Not so sure I'm opposed to that, but telling me I can't rent it, I think that's a decision that should be made by the association once everybody moves in there and they take over. Maybe there's an argument to be made that the builder says, I don't want a whole bunch of rentals in here while I'm still trying to sell them. But, again, it's tying your hands a little bit. The builders, they're in a position where they can pretty much dictate whatever they want now, and they are dictating. Carlos wants to know if anyone's renting a next-gen suite or casita in the East Valley. Next-gens are really hard to find. If there's a casita, those are tough to find as long-term rentals. Most people are using their casitas as short-term rentals. For sellers, the market continues to heavily favor sellers. Supply is still 76 below normal this time of year, and demand is 6% above normal. Doesn't look like it, but it is. Demand's declining in response to recent increases in interest rates. We saw that. We're down to about 3,500, down from 3,900. So here's what he says here. This does not mean the market's at its peak or at the precipice of a price decline. The only response we're seeing at this time in sharp increase is supply between 500 and 1 million over the past 2 weeks. A price range that has less interest from investors and second homeowners and a higher market share of owner occupants. Despite this increase in supply, the median days on market prior to contract still only 7 days. So we are seeing here, he said we will not see a flattening out or decline in sales prices. So while seeing some increase in inventory up in the upper end, we're not seeing a decrease in prices at all anywhere. And it's going to continue to be that way for, I think, the next 3 months, just because of the gap between number of homes for sale and the number of contracts. So we're still down below. Remember, we kind of like to rock and roll at about 24,000 homes on the market, and we've got 5,000. So that's a problem. Now, you did see whenever you get an aggressive real estate market like what we have, there's an explosion of online real estate companies. One of the trends that came out was that you could go to a website and you could find your agent and your lender right there. They were all under the same umbrella, and you could get your financing and title was right there. And that one of those places was called Better.com. And Better.com institutes third major layoff. So a forced reduction of about 4,000 workers. So they, Better Real Estate, the company launched last year to get closer to the purchase for buyers that had not hired an agent. Better hired real estate agents on a salary instead of commission, similar to Redfin's model. Why do I bring this up? Well, they're salaried real estate agents, and they're getting the axe. They're getting laid off. One of the reasons was, as part of Better.com, they had a lot of refinancing going on, and refinancing was the bread and butter for most mortgage companies. And you're seeing lenders getting the axe right and left in this industry. You can get on some of the private Facebook groups where these lenders are like, I'm quitting. I'm going to go do something else. They're getting out because who's going to refinance at 5.35%? Now, Better.com, here's a flashback. Remember hearing the story about the Zoom call where the guy laid everybody off on a Zoom call? And then he tried to act all empathetic about it. This is my hardest day ever. And he lays them off on a flippin' Zoom call. That's the guy. Now they got their third round of layoffs. I wonder if he's using Zoom again to do that. So interesting times now in real estate. For some, it's slowing down. Like I said, for refinancing, that's a bit of a struggle right now. I know people that have left the refinancing and are concentrating on purchases, which are still going well. You can't say that 5.35 is a historically high number, but you can say that the home prices are historically high. Now, personally, I'm thinking of continuing and going back to my daily morning live streams like this one at 8:30 Monday through Thursday. I'll still be on with Pat McMasters at Price Mortgage on Friday at 3 o'clock for our millions and millions of viewers. But let me know what you think. Would you like to see me get back to the morning updates at 8:30? I also have been pulling these videos off at about 9:30, setting them to private and kind of editing them, getting rid of the countdown timer, and then putting them back on at about 6 or 7 at night. I may stop doing that. So let me know what you think. Thomas says, love everything you post. Thanks for keeping us updated. Keep up the morning updates, said Carlos. So we got 2 people. Thanks, Carlos. And we'll see what happens. So I will let you know. Well, you'll just know because I'm probably just going to show up. So other than that, everybody take on the day and have a great rest of the week.